Welcome, motorsport fans. Today, we're bringing you a high-energy race digest and analysis of the 2025 Moto2 Qatar Grand Prix. We're heading to the Lusail International Circuit, which honestly sets the stage for an absolutely unforgettable night under those desert floodlights. We've got blistering speeds, intense drama, and a literal masterclass in strategy to unpack today. So let's get right into it. Here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll kick things off with the qualifying results, check out that highly tumultuous race start, break down Aaron Cannett's incredible pursuit, run through the final race results, and wrap it all up with the latest point standings.
Okay, qualifying results, night at Lusail. Let's look at how the grid was set for the main event.
Looking at the front row, Manuel Gonzalez was just absolutely dominant. I mean, he secured pole position with a blistering record-setting pace of 1 minute 56.301 seconds on his Calyx machine. Right on his heels was Jake Dixon in second, and our eventual race protagonist Aaron Cannet rounding out the front row in third. This front row was locked, loaded, and completely ready for a massive showdown.
But racing in Qatar, it's never just about raw speed. It's really about surviving the brutal conditions of Lusail. You're dealing with night racing right in the middle of the desert. So as soon as the sun goes down, temperatures just plummet. Add to that the desert wind blowing sand straight onto the track surface, and suddenly your tire grip is completely compromised. For the engineers and the riders, this 18-lap race basically turns into a high-stakes chess match of Pirelli tire management.
Moving to Section 2, the final, a tumultuous start. Let's see what happened when the lights finally went out. Well, all those meticulously laid plans from qualifying, they immediately fell apart for some of the riders. Right off the line, Aaron Cannet suffered a disastrously poor launch. He completely bogged down and just got swallowed up by the pack. Meanwhile, it was total heartbreak for Ayumu Sasaki. His already tough weekend ended prematurely with a crash right on lap 1. And guys, the drama didn't stop there. Fast forward to lap 13, and Jake Dixon suffers a tragic crash out of the top 5, totally shaking up the dynamic of the race.
Now for incredible pursuit and drama, Cannet's masterclass in tire management. This is the story everyone's been talking about.
Let's break down Cannet's tactical brilliance here, because he didn't just panic and burn out his tires trying to claw his way back to the front immediately. First, he faced the adversity of that terrible launch and simply focused on finding his rhythm again. Then came the patience phase. In that cold, sandy environment, he expertly preserved his Pirelli tires. Just incredible discipline. And finally, the attack. Armed with superior grip in the closing stages, he systematically picked off the front runners one by one. Truly a masterclass in race management. And just as Cannet was making his ultimate push toward the front, disaster struck for a rival. As the commentators yelled, Jake Dixon crashes out of 5th place on the 13th lap of the race. That sudden exit completely altered the podium battle dynamics, essentially clearing another huge obstacle for the riders pushing up from behind. Taking absolute full advantage of his perfectly managed tires, Cannet completes the sublime comeback and crosses the finish line victorious. I mean, think about it. To drop all the way back into the pack on lap 1 and still manage to take the checkered flag, that is the absolute definition of a hero's journey in motorsport. Next up, the Qatar GP final race results. Let's look at the final standings and see who else survived the grueling conditions of the Lusail desert. Looking at the top 5, we obviously have Kinget taking the win with an overall time of 35 minutes and 30.185 seconds. But right behind him, Denise Unshu put in a brilliant performance to secure 2nd place, finishing just 1.1 seconds back. Manuel Gonzalez successfully turned his pole position into a really solid 3rd-place podium finish. Rounding out a fiercely competitive top 5, we had Daniel Holgado in 4th and Diogo Moreira in 5th. We also definitely need to highlight the severe challenges faced by the Asian riders this weekend. As we mentioned earlier, Ayumu Sasaki recorded a DNF after that unfortunate lap 1 crash. But you have to look at Mario Aggi. He showed absolute warrior spirit, finishing 23rd while riding through intense right foot and back pain from a really severe crash in qualifying 2. And rookie Yuki Kuni battled serious setup and handling issues all weekend, ultimately finishing 24th, but he gained incredibly valuable race data for the future. Finally, the latest point standings. Let's see how the championship picture shifts after this chaotic race. With the Qatar Grand Prix in our rearview mirror, we have an incredibly tight battle forming at the top. Thanks to his strategic masterclass, Aaron Cannet,
leaps straight into the provisional championship lead with 71 points. He is being closely chased by Manuel Gonzalez sitting right there at 61. And despite his crash, Jake Dixon remains very much in the hunt with 59 points.
71 points. That is the new benchmark for the rest of the Moto2 grid to chase as the 2025 season moves forward. Which leaves us with this final thought. With Aaron Canet seizing the championship lead through pure strategic brilliance, can the rest of the grid adapt their tire management before the next round? Thank you so much for joining me for this Race Explainer. I really hope you got as much out of this deep dive as I did putting it together. Stay tuned because this season is clearly just getting started.